Hey everybody, we are backstage, as you can see. We are with the world-famous Kenny Rogers Band, and we're just before showtime. And guys, you've been doing this for so long. Maybe I should introduce you, huh? Or introduce yourself. Go right ahead, sir, if you can remember your name.
Mike Zimmerman, drummer.
Mike, drummer.
Chuck Jacobs on bass.
Randy Dorman, guitar.
Gene Sisk, keys.
Ryan Franklin, guitar.
Steve Glassmeyer, keys.
Don Gatlin, run the fan club.
Okay, great. So, I'll start with, who's been around the longest? It's either Randy or Steve. Steve, this never really gets old. I mean, you guys have been doing this for so long, but here now you're carrying on in Kenny's spirit, keeping the music going. In Backstage, what is it that just keeps you going?
Well, today it's the stir-fried vegetables that these ladies made in the next room over there.
awesome.
Right.
Really good.
Yeah, that's what's keeping us going right now, I think.
Okay, so basically what it all boils down to is the pre-show meal means a lot, right, Zimmerman?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It sets the tone.
It sets the tone.
It sets the tone.
Okay, so we're here in central Pennsylvania. You've got, 3 or 4 shows lined up in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm told, Chuck, a fantastic audience down in Texas just a while ago. Doesn't that invigorate you even after you've played arenas and famous halls all over the world?
That's an interesting point. And with Kenny, we played everything from a private wedding for 35 people, I remember, to Glastonbury. We played for 135,000 people. And one show is almost as good as another, but without Kenny, we have carried on his legacy, as you said, and to play for a couple thousand people in Texas a month or so ago was quite invigorating and a real thrill for us to be, for people to want to come out and see the music of Kenny again and have Don Gatlin perform as well as he does in front of us to keep the crowd engaged.
Okay,
so well.
so Chuck, you said something, it was just like a regular show in Glastonbury, but the reality is that show included the jump that was seen around the world,
Good jump.
Yeah, we called it
right? You've heard about the shot heard around the world, but
Glastonbury Leap. You're right. At the end of the show, we did Islands in the Stream, and then we do a reprise where
where Kenny usually
Kenny
leaves, right?
walks off and
Yep.
then comes back on, and then we ended the show, and Mike's drum riser was about 3 feet up, 2 feet up, something like that. And I made my way up onto it, and right at the end, then I had eye contact with Mike and decided I would do the Glastonbury Leap and
Mike,
jumped off.
did you have any idea what was going to happen?
Oh, he surprised all of us.
Surprised all of us. And I think he surprised himself.
Drum riser.
We almost went off the end of the stage. That was funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with my 66-year-old knees.
Yeah. So Don Gatlin, you sing some of the songs that Kenny Rogers sang, and are you the baby of the group here?
Mike's a little bit younger than me.
A little bit younger,
Yeah.
but
Which is the first time in my life. Actually, I was I played music since I was 13 years old full time, and I was always the young guy in the group. And then I woke up one day and I was the oldest guy in the group in my other group.
Yeah.
And now
You can say who it is.
It feels good to be, except for Mike, the young guy again.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's so great, and I want to say, Chuck will give us a pep talk before we go out every night, gather us all in, and say, guys, listen, it could be 5,000 or five people out there. We're going to give them 100% and give them one hell of a show. And tonight's 5, so let's go out there and get them.
right.
Every night gets us fired up.
Right, but Brian, it is at a point. I'm going to come to you in a second, Randy. But it is important that this might be the person's first time they see your show, which is kind of ironic because you've been around for so many years. But you really do want to give them the best show possible because you don't know how many times they've been there.
Exactly. You just try to give your best every show. So.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a record has just been broken. Brian has given us more than a one-word answer to a question. Randy,
I agree with you. I want to say we do, like This might be the first time hearing this great music that Kenny recorded, and we want to give him 100%. And every night, Brian, no matter what, he knows there's kids out there, there's young people, old people out there that want to hear this great music. He gives us a triple-double every night.
Triple double. So Randy, you're looking
basketball.
around here, and again, you're one of the vets. It never really gets old, does it? Because every night's a new night.
Yeah, it's a new city that I've never been to, because I don't remember the last city we were in. It's always fresh and new, you know?
Well, that's a good question, because I know Gene Fisk. You're the book guy. Are you still the book guy of the group?
Yes.
Okay, so rather
Can't hold
than
on to it, but he is.
I think he left it over in the food room.
the book, I can't remember where the book was. I was reading a book. I just can't remember where I left it. But you guys used to get out with Kenny, get out during the day because like somebody said, they don't pay you to do the show. They pay you to put up with the other 22 hours of the day when there's no show. But you still get out? You still take walks around the neighborhood?
I'll take an occasional walk, but these days, especially with the weather the way it's been for the winter and things, I'll winter in and read my book.
Yep. So Chuck, what should people expect on this show?
Well, the main thing they should expect is to go out front and buy my new book.
Nice segue.
That was great.
Wait a minute. Wait, and you just happen to have
I just
a copy?
happen to have one.
Wow.
What is it called?
Imagine
I
that.
just released and published this new book called 40 Years with the Legend, Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
And it's fun because it has memories and stories, the backstage. It's sort of like a backstage pass. You get to see all of the different things that we did through the years, and many of the things, not all.
Not catering.
Not all the catering, but like this is Albert Hall, just
Royal Albert Hall
and
in London.
And that was the place that you guys played, but Kenny never did.
Right.
it's ironic. It's a
Tell that. Zimmerman, you brought it up. Tell that
Well,
story.
I don't know the whole story. He knows the story.
Well, Linda Davis was on tour with us, and we
Linda
played-
Davis, as in
Well,
Lady A. That Linda Davis.
Linda is Lady A's mother. In other words,
And a lot prettier than me.
and
We could say that about anyone,
She's-
but
she's-
nevertheless.
She's a beautiful
Linda
lady.
got a Grammy for singing a song with Reba McEntire, and she's
Does
had a couple
he?
other Grammys as well. But she opened up for Kenny on this tour, and we acted as her backup band. And so when we played Albert Hall, we went on with Linda and played most of the show. In fact, got to the last song, and as we started the last song, all of a sudden it stopped. The music stopped. There was no sound. All the power had gone out. The only thing we could hear was the drums, and no microphone, anything. And then a fella walked out with a uniform on, an usher, and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. Please make your way safely and quickly to the nearest exit." And everybody did. They were well drilled in London, based on many of the terrorist attacks they'd had there. So we all went off the stage, and Kenny and Linda were whisked off by the road manager, and we were standing there like, "What are we, chopped liver?"
Chop liver.
So I ran into the dressing room real quick and grabbed my computer, believe it or not. And then we made our way outside, and we were about, I don't know, what do you say, 70, 80 feet from the building, which everybody else was out there. And we waited for, 15
And realize you've forgotten all the wives backstage.
Otherwise, they're backstage.
15, 20 minutes out there, and finally got a word saying the show will not continue, and so go home. And our hotel
Yeah.
was about a mile and a half, a few blocks away.
Yeah. Right, and we should say, Mr. Sisk brought up and back, there was a bomb threat. It wasn't the show won't continue because the band wasn't playing well. It was because there was some
So when
other
And you have to take that
extracurricular.
serious. You have to take it serious because where we played at in Manchester, the arena there, a few years after we played there, there was a bomb that went off inside the.
or somebody
Yeah,
like that?
it was Ariana Grande.
Yeah, that's what Ariana.
Yeah.
Where exactly where we played, a bomb did go off inside
that
the arena. So I mean, you
Coliseum,
gotta
yeah.
take that serious.
Yep.
So we went back to the hotel, and then they said, "You can go back to the dressing room and grab your street clothes," and we did. And then it wasn't, I think it was a month or two later, we found out through the news and a report that came to us, they actually caught the person who called in the bomb scare. It was a guy whose girlfriend went to the show with someone other than him.
It was Lee Greenwood.
And he wanted to spoil her evening, and certainly did, but it spoiled his life for several years to come because he ended up in jail.
Okay, we should do a segment today of stuff that went on backstage that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a good one, and Don actually remarks this in the show. I think it's a good one. We were in, I think, not Dublin, but
Northern Ireland, yeah.
Belfast.
Northern Ireland. And we were backstage, and Kenny called for Don from his dressing room. Don was opening for us at that time, and they called Don in and said, "Don, these people really like country music here, and I want to pull out a couple of my old country songs that I haven't done in a long time. Could you teach them to me?"
Oh, wait.
Yes.
This is Kenny saying this to Don.
To
Yeah.
me.
To Don, would you teach me a couple songs?
And I went, sure.
He said,
What would you like to
he said,
hear?
"You know all my songs, don't you?"
Yeah.
And Don says, "Well, yeah, I do." And so
I started singing them. You guys started playing them, and Kenny was, like I said, a very quick learner. He
fell
remembered
right
pretty
into
quick.
it.
Yeah, he fell. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's how it goes." And we did it, and they went out and played them. It was one of those ones was Scarlet Fever,
yeah.
which was a hit in '83.
Okay.
So we did that one.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I'll just name a song. You get over the piano and start playing it. Okay? We'll see how talented you are. How about We Got Tonight? You know anything about that?
Oh, okay.
Okay. While he's getting ready.
So I got a quick story about that 35 people
Okay, go ahead.
wedding that we went to. It was a guy for 84 lumber, and now he's divorced, so it's 42 lumber.
he owned 84 lumber.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so what was the song you were going to sing?
We got tonight.
Okay.
I know it's late. I know you're worried. I know your plans don't include me. Still here we are, both of us lonely, longing for shelter. All that we see. Why should we worry? No one will care, girl. Look at the stars out so far away. We got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? We got tonight, babe. Why don't we stay? We got tonight, babe. Why don't we stay?
And the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes wild.
Okay, so speaking of tonight, you got a show to do in about 20 minutes, so I know that you got to get into a little finer clothes than that.
We're in Lebanon, Pennsylvania tonight.
Lebanon,
And
Pennsylvania.
in Tennessee, there's also a Lebanon, except
Tennessee?
in Tennessee, it's Lebanon.
Lebanon.
And
syllables.
we're 13 minutes from Hershey.
Yep.
Right, and you're going to be here tomorrow, so maybe now, Gatlin, you're a Keystone State guy, a Pennsylvania guy. Maybe you should take them, and with your influence, have them open the park tomorrow and take them all on the Cyclone.
That would be awesome. We had a good time with some friends of mine in Old Philly. We got off the plane, went down to the legendary Gino's Cheesesteak in the Rim Cafe, and I hadn't seen my friends for a while, and showed them all around there, and we had a blast and had some amazing food and coffee and all
Okay.
kinds of stuff. Lots of good folks here in BA. Hope they all come out to our shows, and we'd love to see everybody. They're gonna have a great time.
And it is a great
guys
show.
are awesome.
It's a high energy
The Kenny
show.
Rogers Band.
The Kenny Rogers Band.
Except no substitute.
That's right. So you can find
no
out
substitute.
if they don't watch this in the next couple of days. You can find out where was that email at on that website address.
KennyRogersBand.com.
Okay. Now, also, folks, Chuck, I'm going to play agent here for a second. If you folks want to see the Kenny Rogers Band come to your area, contact the venue. 700 to 1,200 to 2,000 seats, and call them and say, when are you going to have the Kenny Rogers Band?
And they say, "How do we get a hold of them?" Say, go to KennyRogersBand.com.
There you go.
We'll give you a fair price. We'll throw in Kim Carnes for $500 extra.
There we go, folks.
I
So
can't back that up.
we're already in trouble with Lee Greenwood and Kim Carnes now. We better get off. We better get off. But hey, guys, thank you so much. And Linda, thank you so much. And this is the Kenny Rogers Band.